In this tutorial, we'll be using the evaluation criteria to evaluate a website. Now let's say you wanted to get more of a background on communism for your paper on religion in communist China, and this website appeared in your search results. You think it might be relevant, but you want to see if it is worthwhile for your research. Well, let's begin. The first evaluation criteria is availability. And obviously the web page is available to us, but our main concern when it comes to availability in websites is all the parts of the website available to be accessed, meaning are all the links within the website leading somewhere, or are they dead links? Well, let's try some of these links to get an idea. I'm going to go ahead and click on History of Communism, try that one out, and it works. How about the Marxist Origins of Communism? And that one works. Why don't we go ahead and try going back to the main page and try Special Exhibits. And this one, What Really Happened During America's Red Scares. And as you can see, this page was not found. So it has links that don't lead anywhere. So be careful when you're evaluating websites and make sure that the resources you want to access are actually available. Now let's go back to the main page and go on to the next evaluation criteria, authority and credibility. Now when we are evaluating authority and credibility of websites, our chief concern is who is responsible for the intellectual content? Who is the author of the information we are using? This could be one of two kinds of people. It could be one or more people is responsible for all the content on the website, or one or more people is responsible for just the content you are using, and there are different authors for the different parts. So look at the information you are using to see if an author is listed. Now let's take a look to see if we can find an author for one of the pieces of information on the website. I'm going to go ahead and click on the History of Communism, click on the Marxist Origins of Communism, and let's say I really like the information here and I wanted to use it for my paper, but I'm not sure who's responsible for the intellectual content. So let's go ahead and take a look. I don't see an author listed here at the top, nor here on the bottom. So I'm going to go to the next page, and there isn't one here or here. So I'm going to try the last page, and there isn't one listed there either. So I'm not finding the author for this particular article. So I'm going to go back to the main page and see if I can't find more information there. Now there is a name listed here at the top that says Bryan Caplan Curator. While I'm not sure if he is the author of the information I was looking at, he would probably know who the author is if he is not the author. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this name right here. It appears to be a link, and it takes me to his personal page. It says that he is affiliated with the Department of Economics at Mercatus Center, George Mason University, and it says that he is also Professor of Economics at George Mason University. Now, judging from this page, it appears that Bryan Caplan is an authority on the topic. However, I'm not sure if he is the author of the information I was looking at, but it would still be a good idea to contact him because he would know who the author of that information is if it isn't him, and then I could look up that person and judge their credentials to see if they are an authority or not. But for right now, let's go back to the main page. So I'm going to click out of here, and now I'm going to go up here to Special Exhibits, and as you can see here, there are articles written by other people and they are named. This one is written by Vincent Cook, and this one is written by Patrick Bacallo. So if I wanted to use those ones, I would have to judge the authority and credibility of these authors. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to go back to the main page, and I'm going to go on to the next evaluation criteria, purpose and bias. Now when we evaluate a website for purpose and bias, the best place to look to get a good idea of the purpose of the website is to look for an About Us, a mission page, or a FAQ, because usually one of these pages will explain what the purpose of the website is, why the website exists, for what reason was it created. And for this page, for this website, there is in fact an FAQ. So let's go to it. And right here, the second frequently asked question is, what is the purpose of the Museum of Communism? Which should answer our question. Let's go to it. And as you can see, it says in the first paragraph, the purpose of the Museum of Communism is to for communism what the Holocaust Memorial Museum does for Nazism, namely to educate the public about mass murder, widespread slave labor, and other human rights violations committed by communist regimes. As the curator of the museum, I strive for high standards of objective scholarship, but the historical facts, enjoying the widespread agreement of scholars whatever their political orientation, ensure that the museum's exhibits will almost invariably place communism in an extremely negative light. In that first paragraph, it spells out exactly what the purpose of the website is, to educate the public about these things. However, the wording and the tone show that the website also might have a bias. The information might have bias within it. It is an anti-communist bias, judging from the first paragraph, since communism is described incredibly negatively, and the author even says that communism will probably be placed in an extremely negative light within the information presented. So if we use the information from this website, we need to be aware that there is probably going to be a bias. That doesn't mean that the information on this website is worthless, it just means that we will want to fill in the gaps that are missing in the biased information with information from other sources. Now I'm going to go back to the main page, and I'm going to go on to the next evaluation criteria, accuracy and reliability.